Today I'm going to talk about Trust Bank, which is a new digital bank set up by Standard Chartered and NTUC FairPrice. And I think it is quite an interesting thing to look at, and it has sort of blown up over the past few days. This is by far the most downloaded app I've seen coming through my referral link. So yeah, let's take a look at why this is so popular. For a start, Trust Bank has launched 3 products: a credit card, which we'll touch on later, a bank account, and also a personal accident insurance plan. Now let's start with the easy ones, and there will be the bank account as well as the personal accident insurance. For the bank account, it gives 1% per annum interest rate. There's no frills to this. You don't have to credit your salary. There's no credit card spend to meet. All you have to do is just put up to $50,000 in this bank account, and you can get 1% per annum interest rate, which is a pretty decent rate, I think. But of course, interest rates are on the rise, so I think 1% is not going to be enough. And if you make 5 transactions on your Trust debit card, the rate is actually boosted to 1.2% per annum. And if you're an NTUC Union member, it is 1.4% per annum, which I think puts it in the not too bad category considering the rates of bank accounts these days. Of course, you are still going to be wanting to put more idle funds into things like Singapore savings bonds or even T-bills that will give you almost 3% these days. So 1% to 1.4%, I would say it is decent, not the best, but of course, if you just don't want to deal with buying SSB or don't want to deal with all the salary crediting that other bank accounts require you to, this is a good option to put $50,000 of your savings. Now, this video is brought to you by Rebate, and you can use my link satisfy.com/Rebate to sign up and get yourself fantastic goodies such as free shares. Weibo also currently gives you 0% commission, as well as let you trade from as low as $5 per trade, and therefore you can lower your cost by a lot and trade with small amounts, and you get free shares to kickstart your investment journey. So I really thank Weibo for sponsoring this video, because without sponsors like this, I don't think I will be that hardworking in making videos. Thanks Weibo again for sponsoring this video. Now, given that this is a bank with a full digital bank license, the deposits here are also guaranteed up to $75,000 under the deposit insurance scheme. So it also works exactly like a bank account. You can link up your PayNow mobile number or IC number to it, no problem. And you can also use it to fast transfer to other bank accounts, just like you expect a bank account to work. So far, I think my experience with it has been decent, except that my debit card has been locked by the bank for some reason, and the support is quite lacking. I think due to the launch, there are a lot of people sending inquiries. They take about an hour to reply to their chat, and when they do, there's no pop-up notification, so I don't know that they replied. And when I try to reply them, they have already ended the conversation. It's a little bit annoying, but since this is the launch period, I can sort of close one eye and hope that they'll sort out their customer support issues. But if this keeps up, I think I wouldn't be very inspired to put a lot of my savings in this account. So far, I put $50,000 just to try it out. Of course, these are funds that I need in the short term, and therefore I'm not even putting it into things like T-bills. The next product that they have is a family personal accident plan that covers just $8,000 on accidental death, and it costs just 50 cents per month. So this is an example of micro insurance, which I think that is getting on trend these days, and they are trying it out to see whether or not people will pay 50 cents for $8,000 policy. Now, I think that the sum assured is very low, but accordingly, the premium is also very low. So this product isn't that interesting, but I think what is interesting would be what are Trust Bank's plans for the future when it comes to insurance products. As with most banks, I actually advise people not to buy insurance or investment products from them, because they tend to be very lousy policies like ILPs or savings policies. So it is yet to be seen what Trust Bank has to offer in the future. I think as a digital bank, they should try to cater to savvier customers and offer more value for money policies like term. And hopefully this will be a good avenue where people can buy term policies in a very fast, free manner. But again, okay, it's up to them to fulfill this promise of delivering great products. So we'll see as they launch new insurance products, and we can see whether or not they will live up to the name of being a trustworthy bank. Now, before we move on to their very complicated credit card product, let's talk about the sign up promo. And all you have to do is to sign up with either the credit card or the savings account using my referral link, and you can get yourself extra $10 NTUC FairPrice voucher. And when you use the card, either the debit or the credit card to buy something or make your first transaction of any amount, you get additional $25 of FairPrice vouchers. So there's a total of $35 FairPrice vouchers for not doing much. And also you get 1 kg of free rice as well as a kopitiam breakfast set. Hey, free is free. I think this will appeal to a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, it certainly appeals to me. $35 vouchers for doing nothing much because the opening of the account is instant and there's no closing fee or fall below fees to worry about. So if you open an account and don't use it, there's not going to be a penalty. If you sign up for the credit card, however, my experience is that I got a message saying that I needed to wait 3 working days and the app refused to let me sign up for the savings account until I reinstalled it. Some other people said that they were rejected while some said they were approved instantly. So I'm not sure what the issue is. And some people even speculate that signing up for this credit card will actually take away your new to Stand Chart customer status. So I'm not sure about that. I have to reach out to Standard Chartered to clarify. So in any case, I think we can just sign up for the savings account first to get the sign up goodies. But do know that if you sign up for the savings account, you cannot sign up for the credit card for the time being. I'm sure that they will sort this out. In any case, let's take a look at the credit card now to see whether or not it is something worth signing up for. Now, Trust Bank advertises a staggering 21% savings on FairPrice group expenses. Well, we have to see whether or not this is actually true. If you click through their website and look at their terms and conditions, you'll notice that you have a bunch of requirements to meet this 21% savings rate, and it can be quite convoluted. I've spent quite some time trying to decipher what's the effective earn rate on this. The 21% savings is promised to you by the NTUC Link Card, which is exclusive for NTUC Union members. There's a non-NTUC Union member version called the Trust Link Card, which gives you 15% savings, which is also a very impressive rate, but we have to see whether or not the card actually gives you this much, because we all know that advertising always promises you the best theoretical yield that people realistically can't get. We have to see what's the realistic possible rate to see whether or not this is a good card to use. So over here we have an Excel spreadsheet which I put in the different earn rates as best as I could to calculate the realistic earn rate of this card. And let's say a hypothetical situation where you spend $300 on FairPrice and $450 on non-FairPrice spending, which is the requirement to get the higher earn rate. You can get actually 6.132% on the entire thing. So you get 15% rebate on the FairPrice spending and a very poor 0.22% on the non-FairPrice amount, which is quite okay, I guess. This is actually something that rivals the OCBC Frank and perhaps the UOB Evo. The criteria is that you need to spend a little bit more on FairPrice. If I spend only $100 on FairPrice, then my rebate goes all the way down to 2.9%, which is not fantastic. And of course, if I don't hit the non-FairPrice spend amount, okay, the entire thing goes down to 0.22%, which is a terrible, terrible cashback rate, almost nothing. If I were to increase my spending a little bit more on my FairPrice spending, okay, let's say I spend $600, okay, what happens is that the first tier gets 15% and the leftover from the first tier gets 8%. You actually get 7% overall because your amount spent on FairPrice has increased. So, like I said, this is a rather convoluted way to structure a credit card, unfortunately. So it's going to be quite difficult for you to really figure out how much cashback you will get. Yeah, and therefore you have to really work the mechanism into Excel to really calculate it. I would say that the rate will be roughly around 6 to 7% if your FairPrice spending is between $300 to $600. Yeah, it goes all the way down when you spend less on FairPrice, and also your non-FairPrice spending must hit $450, otherwise you'll get a very poor rate of 0.22%. So for people who are just spending $100, $200 a month, I would say this card is not really great for you. Okay, but if you're someone who can spend more, let's say $600 or up, this actually becomes a rather good card, I would say. You can see, let's say $700 of spending. Yeah, that's not too bad. Do know that this is a promotional rate, so after the end of this year, actually this card will no longer be very good because they are almost halving the returns on the card, and therefore the best rate you see here, about 7.12%, will no longer be this much. I will calculate it again on a separate post because it's really a lot of work just to calculate the promotional rate for now, and I'm battling food poisoning. So yeah, stay tuned to my Telegram for more updates on the new rates after 2022. If we look at the NTUC Union member version, which promises 21% savings, things get a little bit more interesting. So if I look at $300 of spend at 21% rebate, okay, and then I meet the $350 non-FairPrice expenditure, which is required to get the high 21%, I can actually get about 9.81% on the entire spend amount. Now, here's the thing. I've just clarified with a very helpful member of my Telegram chat group, and this 9.81% figure also includes a 4.5% earn rate that every other NTUC Union member can get with other credit cards. So we can't actually consider this as part of the earn rate, and therefore I think we need to deduct it away. And the overall earn rate is 7.73%. So it's perhaps not as fantastic as I initially thought. And if you spend a bit more, it is 8.03%. This is based on $500 on FairPrice group transactions. Yeah, and the same $350 on non-FairPrice group transactions. 8.03% is something you can get with the Maybank Family and Friends card. Depending on your level of spend, you may find that easier to use. And don't forget, this is a promotional rate. It will go away and become lower after December 2022. So is there a point really to go with this card? Well, I'll leave you to decide based on your spending habits. So my conclusion is that Trust Bank's first few products are actually not too bad. The bank account, I think, is okay. It could use a bit more interest rate, but I'm not complaining given that 1 to 1.2% without any criteria is an okay rate. Of course, I will hope that it will increase with the increasing interest rates. The personal accident plan, I think, is nothing fancy to shout about. Just hope for more products like term and hospitalization plans that can be easily bought through the Trust app. The credit card cashback mechanism, I think, is way too complicated to calculate properly, and I hope that Trust Bank will simplify the cashback mechanic. Now, given how complicated the cashback mechanic is, I think it's very hard to recommend this card to anyone, especially when the rate is going to change after the end of this year. So I think people will be much better off with cards like the Citi Cashback card, Maybank Family and Friends card, or even the CIMB Visa Signature cards, because those also give 8 to 10% cashback, and they are far easier to understand and calculate your cashback for the month. So look at those cards if you are considering getting the Trust card instead, and you don't have to be a Union member to enjoy a high cashback rate. Now, if you found my video useful, I hope that you'll consider using my referral code when you sign up for Trust Bank. Do drop me a like and also subscribe to my Telegram group, and I'll see you next video.